It's a whole new exciting world. We have elected an African American president. Yay. So, what better time to learn about the African American contributions to the American cultural fabric than now? And that's what we're going to be doing in this course. It's a course on the Harlem Renaissance. In my opinion, the greatest group contribution that African Americans did contribute to American society. It took place between it started around 1919, 1920, went through the 20s and the 30s and dipped into the 40s. We will specifically be looking at the visual artists. You're probably all familiar with the music, the blues, and the soul that came out of the spirituals, and probably more familiar with the literature and poetry as well, such as Langston Hughes, than perhaps you are with the visual arts. Even those of you who are quite familiar with art probably don't know a lot about African American artists. We are going to be looking at painting, both easel painting and fresco painting. We will be looking at illustrations. One of the artists in particular was the primary illustrator of two of the organs of the Harlem Renaissance, Crisis and Opportunity. And we'll also be looking at sculpture. The thing that I think is going to be most interesting about the course is that the varied subject matter, of course determined by the individual artist, and each of those artists is going to be contributing, be it through illustration, painting, or sculpture, their identity within American culture, and it's going to vary according to the artist. I am going to be using slides and lecture and discussion. I also like to integrate DVDs or VHS material that is relevant. I usually segment it so it doesn't overpower the 2-hour session. It depends on the group, actually, but I'm thinking perhaps in the 6th week of doing a field trip to the De Young Museum, if that's agreeable to the group. It'll be a decision by the group. The reason to go to the De Young is that there is a very important painting there by Aaron Douglas, who is a preeminent modernist Harlem Renaissance painter. And also because there is the great African collection there on the 2nd floor. And African art was a great source for our African American artists. The man who really was responsible, the philosopher responsible for establishing this group, Alain Locke, wrote a book called The New Negro. The Harlem Renaissance grew out of his compilation. And his basic philosophy was that African Americans also, at this point in history, should go back and look at their African roots and bring that to the forefront. So going to the De Young could be interesting for both of those reasons. My time's up. I hope to see some of you in the course. So it's very colorful and fun. Thanks.